What's up, guys and gals, and welcome to VEVE Vibes, where I love talking all things VEVE NFTs, speculation, and of course the market. So we have about like 3 or 4 different topics to cover, so I might go a bit quicker than normal on this. Originally, I was just going to talk about Coca-Cola, some like market weirdness that's been happening recently, and just seeing how the NFTs I recommended last week, all the NFTs that were like below 100 gems, how they're performing right now. I think they're doing pretty well, but we'll go ahead and take a look in a bit. But literally, as I was making this video, about an hour ago, VEVE dropped this huge announcement from Disney about the Mickey Mouse NFT collection. And this is an absolutely huge deal. And they're actually going to be starting off with pretty much like the first appearance of Mickey in any kind of Disney entertainment medium, their shows, movies, all that kind of stuff, with the Steamboat Willie, which is a huge deal. That is, I think, the first time Mickey Mouse made an appearance on any kind of Disney show, which is a huge deal. So any collector of Disney, Mickey Mouse, this is going to be huge. It will be Wednesday, December 22nd. And just as a reminder, this is happening at 12 p.m. Pacific time, not 8 a.m. Pacific time, which is, I think, the usual drop time on VEVE. So yeah, this is a huge deal, and it says it's going to be doing Mickey's most iconic moments. I don't think they're all going to be black and white like this. I think this is just the first series, so it's going to be showing Steamboat Willie. But I could definitely see maybe series 2, maybe series 3. There could be a certain Mickey with a robe and a sorcerer's hat, just like Fantasia, and that could skyrocket the price of the Mickey sorcerer's hat as well as Walt Mickey, who knows? But I do think as these NFTs keep getting released, more hype will be built around just the Disney NFTs in general. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, this is a huge deal. Moving on to the Coca-Cola NFTs. I'm really excited for these. People have been talking about it nonstop for the last 2 days or so since they made the announcement. I talked about it very briefly. I think I was 3 for 4 on what they were going to do for the snow globes. I did say they're going to do a. I thought the 4 were going to be a polar bear, some sort of neon sign, a pack of like colas, like the tall bottle ones, and the last one was going to be some sort of like vending machine Coca-Cola thing. But I didn't get the vending machine one right, but I did get the polar bear as well as the Coke bottles, like a package of them, the neon sign, and the secret rare is just a normal Coke bottle. Not a huge fan of it, but it's definitely a collector's item because it is such a small mint number. People have been talking about these a lot. I do think there's going to be a ton of hype around these because obviously Coca-Cola is a huge brand. It's the #1 drinking brand that has been centered around drinks for a long time. They've been around for over 100 years. And they've always made a very large push since the very beginning, since they've existed, kind of centering a lot of their marketing and their strategy and recognition around Christmas and Santa Claus and all that kind of stuff. I think the polar bear has only been around for like 20 or 30 years, so he's a pretty new addition, but it's just such an iconic like image or just character for the Coca-Cola company that they're putting it in NFT, which is pretty cool. So as far as I know, these are not first appearances. These are just first editions. Coca-Cola did have some NFTs that they released earlier this year that are Coca-Cola related. So these aren't all first appearances, but it could be a first appearance of a snow globe or of the polar bear, whatever else is involved. I will say with the commons, even though there's nearly 14,000 editions, with the common craze that's going on, I think another thing to note is that the list price for these are only 29 gems. So they're actually pretty inexpensive, just entry level to get started. But despite them being so cheap and just because it's Coca-Cola, I think the commons could actually, just with the market craze initially opening, not all of them are delivered and all that stuff, I think I could actually see the Coca-Cola polar bear, the common, pushing like 250. I could easily see it actually pushing like close to 250 or so, like 200 to 250, and just going absolutely crazy on the market. But once everything settles down, once everything is delivered, I could see it probably chilling out between like 180 and 200. Maybe 220, 180, 220. I don't know. You have to give such a large variable just because you just don't know what's going to happen. And I think with everything happening with the commons, I think it's very realistic that this will get up to like probably in the 200s. The uncommon, which is the basically like Coke bottle case or like set together, 11,000 editions. Uncommon, again, the commons have actually, we saw with Deadpool and as well as some of the prior ones with like Wonder Woman, they actually surpassed the price of the rare at times. And so I do think the uncommon, I think with the market craze when it initially starts, it'll push a little bit over 100, so like 110, 120. But I think once everything is settled down, it'll probably rest anywhere between 80 to 100. Maybe a little bit over 100, I would say, just because it is Coke at the end of the day. So I'm adding like an additional like 10 or 20% to this. So yeah, I could see the uncommons probably push about 120, but they'll settle around 100 after all the deliveries happen and like the market settles down. The rare, so there is actually no ultra rare on this one. It just jumps straight up to secret rare. So I could definitely see the rare probably be the same thing as the common. It'll probably push like 250, maybe 300, just because it's a rare. It is a sign. Maybe even 350. Who knows? I compounding the common craze on top of the Coca-Cola stuff and the 12 days of VEVE and all that stuff. Anything can happen, but I think this could push 250 to 300 during the market craze, but then it'll probably settle around 220, 250 after everything is said and done. And then for the secret rare, there's only 2,000 editions of these. I think this could, so 2,000 editions, I don't know. Secret rares are so hard to determine, especially since we don't have like an ultra rare to kind of like compare and contrast it to. I could definitely see these getting picked up on the market. People are going to be selling them between, I don't know, 1.5 to 2,000 gems. But I think like after everything is said and done, and eventually like during the market craze, I think it'll be going for like 2,500 to 3K. But like after everything settles, I think it's going to be like 1.5 to 2K, in my personal opinion. Could be a bit higher. Again, Coca-Cola, you never know what's going to happen at the end of the day. Next is the crazy market stuff that's been happening. So I got on Discord this morning and someone mentioned like, hey, is that him, HIM? I don't know. I didn't watch any of the Powderpuff Girls show like at all. I was too busy watching other stuff when I was that age. But there was a point where he was going for 8,500 gems, and then it just skyrocketed all the way up to 37,000 gems, which is absolutely absurd. And there was only a one listing movement here. So it only went from 9 to 8. So either there was only one other listing, or there's only the other, let's say 8 listings were all just 37,000 and higher, or which could happen. I do think these people are not on a private Discord, but maybe they're in communication with each other. They might have just pulled all of their listings and just relisted them for 37,000. Who knows? But I think once everyone saw that 37,000, all the people started posting their listings. Now it's up to 15 listings. They just started constantly undercutting each other, and now it's at the point where it's at 18, which is still much higher than 8.5. But we'll go ahead and see how this kind of plays out. But I just thought that was really interesting that the market just went absolutely ballistic with the him. I don't know how to pronounce it, to be honest. So I thought that was pretty funny. The other thing too, I actually have to pull up my phone to do this. There's been an absolutely massive sell wall for the new 007 case that they just released yesterday. Let me pull it up here. So it's already on VEVE's radar, and someone already brought it to their attention on their Discord. So there's 2 walls, one at 70, one at 72. People are actually selling some of these at a loss compared to the actual price of the 007 suitcase. So as you can see at 70, nothing kind of out of the ordinary. All of a sudden we just get a huge wall of just nothing but letters and numbers. People's names are just random assortments of letters and numbers. So that just seems a bit fishy. And as we keep scrolling down, if it couldn't get any worse, more letters and numbers. And now we have an absolutely massive sell wall at 72. And sometimes it's just like 2 names, then a random set of numbers. So as you can see, it's like Dupious Valentine 68, and then Lionzine Sunpepper, Martel Raymond, Suzanne Lazone. Like these are just kind of, it's always like 2 names followed by numbers, or it's just 2 names, whatever it is. But yeah, there's definitely something going on there, and it is on VEVE's radar. They did say they're keeping it out for bots or whatever's involved, so it is under investigation currently. All right, the next thing is, so last week I recommended 5 different NFTs that were below 100 gems, that were all first appearance, all part of DC or Marvel. I do think these are all still very good pickups, but I'm just kind of curious to see how well they've done over the last week. So 7 days ago was the video. So I'm going to be looking at all of these at the December 12th date and what their price is now, and maybe if there was a time where they peaked, which I think all of them did, except for one. So the first one is, which one is this? Batgirl. So Batgirl, I recommended her, right? So on December 12th, she was going for around 55 gems. I think earlier in the day, she was going for like above 60, but then she went as down low as 55. She peaked at 70, now is 62. So already you'd probably be having 6, 7, 8 gem profit, or just like increase since you bought her, which is actually pretty good since she's only 55 gems. The next one was Catwoman. I thought Catwoman was going to be a pretty good pickup because on December 12th, she got as low as 72. She then peaked at 134, which means she nearly doubled in price. And now she's settling at 109. So if you actually picked up a few of these at 72, you know, good on you. Now the price has increased pretty significantly since then. The other one I recommended was the Zombie Hunter Spider-Man, mainly because of the hype around the movie. So December 12th was the day I recommended it. It was, I think at the time it was like 92 or so, but if you just bought it towards the end of the day, or at least like kept your eye on it, towards the end of December 12th, it went as low as 72, peaked at 100, and is now at 78. So already, if you just held it or if you didn't sell at these peaks, I almost considered selling some of these at the peaks. I think on a couple of them, I did sell like 1 or 2 of a certain NFT, but I do have 2 or 3 copies of all of these, and they seem to be performing really well. So I'm happy with that. December 12th, this is by far one of my favorite NFTs. I love the look, I love the story and all that stuff. And it's definitely the most unique looking Batman. So on December 12th, he got as low as 69 gems. That would have been a great entry point. He went up to 107. I remember he actually crested over 100 gems at one point. I'm like, should I actually sell 1 or 2 of these? But I decided not. I think I kept all of them. I think some of the other ones I did sell. Now it's at basically 90 gems for the most part. So it's already increased about 21 gems since the purchase of a week ago. The next one is Zombie Captain America. Now, this one doesn't have a whole lot of movement. People don't seem to be a fan of this NFT, and I don't blame them. But I mainly suggested this one because this one, Zombie Captain America, is tied to the What If series that is going to be on Disney Plus. I think they already had 1 season of it. They might do a 2nd season here in a little bit. But yeah, this one doesn't see a lot of movement, but it is just so inexpensive. It is a first appearance, and if the show does really well, I could definitely see this one taking off. I'm not saying that this is going to moon like Todd or the Common Spider-Man or anything like that, but you could actually get some pretty good returns as well. So if you only have, 50 to 100 gems or even a few hundred gems that you guys are willing to spend, make sure it's not your last gems because you want to have money for drops. But if you do have some stuff to spend, I do think these are still pretty good pickups. And I think at the price that they are now at 89, you can maybe wait a little bit longer towards the 12 days of VEVE. And once that's done, I do think the prices of pretty much all the NFTs will go up eventually, but I do think these are still pretty solid pickups. Zombie Captain America. So from December 12th, he's at 78. He was at 38. He's at 38 again, but it did peak at 43. So if you wanted to sell it at that point, you could. But again, with the 8.5% fee, probably not a whole lot of profit to be made. But overall, the trend of Zombie Captain America is up and to the right ever since he was released in late October. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys liked this video. I know we covered a lot of topics, but I wish you guys the best of luck for the Coca-Cola drop tomorrow. Hope you guys take care, and I'll catch you on the flip side.